Welcome back to Fantasy Blitz. We're with you Friday night at 11 o'clock. Also, we're going to re-air Saturday at 5:30 p.m. and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. So make sure, maybe you have a friend, you got to tell them, you got to catch this show. It's the best fantasy football show on television, Mid-Atlantic Sports Network. Make sure you tune them in. Let's get right to our studs, our duds, and our sleepers for Week 3. Michael, go ahead. You take off.
All right, well, last week I took Peyton Manning, which was kind of an easy pick. This week, Chris Chambers. Not as easy a pick, but I think he's going to really put up great numbers against the Tennessee Titans. My sleeper, Mark Brunell, old lefty. Look for him to put up great numbers against the Houston Texans. And my dud, only because everybody's going to start him, and I probably will start him too. I don't think he'll put up great numbers. We just mentioned him. Reggie Wayne, I think the Jaguars are going to keep him in line.
My stud, I know I'm not going out on a limb here, Donovan McNabb. He's had a sensational season so far. Going up against San Francisco, I'm thinking big numbers for him. Dante Stallworth, I'm loving it. He's my stud for Week 3. My dud, Rudy Johnson. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot to prove. They're going to come out mean, angry, fired up. I don't think Rudy Johnson is going to get a lot of yardage this week. My sleeper, okay, call me a homer. I'm going with Steve McNair. Why? Because this offense, the Ravens offense, needs to get it together, and I'm expecting him to come out and have a big game. I have all the utmost confidence in this Ravens offense to get it going. So Steve McNair is my sleeper for Week 3. Jeff?
Okay, my studs this week. The stud is going to be Ronnie Brown. I think that matchup against Tennessee is just what the doctor ordered for him to get back on track. As far as the dud, you have to go with Reuben Jones against that Baltimore defense. I think any Cleveland Brown against that defense is a tough start. And my sleeper this week is Antonio Bryant. San Francisco against that Philly secondary that's hurting very poorly. He's already put up 8 catches for 200-plus yards and a touchdown, and he had a 52-yarder call back on a penalty. So you add that back in, he'd be the #1 wide receiver in the league. So I'm going with Antonio Bryant.
Michael, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Final thought would be definitely start your Ravens, start your Redskins, and start your Dolphins this week because they've all got great matchups.
Jeff?
I'll always play the matchups. I can't agree more with Michael. But look for watch those injury reports up to the last minute. See if these guys are going to play. Hujmanzada, Steve Smith.
Let me ask you guys, what is the biggest surprise going into Week 3? What has been the biggest surprise for you so far in this fantasy football season, Mike?
The biggest surprise for me has been the fall of Sean Alexander in the first 2 weeks. Do we mention the MASN curse at all? He has not played well, and he's a little bit banged up right now, and I would not be shocked if Sean Alexander has a subpar season.
Jeff?
In general, the lack of the touchdowns for running back so far, but also the fall of Jake Plummer that has done virtually nothing with all those new weapons out in Denver.
Yeah, there are a lot of players, in my opinion, that went in the first round that haven't put up the first round numbers yet for you to really take advantage and be that star player in your league. But as you said before we started the show, you said they haven't gotten into a groove yet.
That's right.
So don't abandon. Don't start one thing. Don't start trying to look to trade Sean Alexander. Look to trade Larry Johnson. You drafted them in the first round for a reason. Hold on to them because I've already gotten a trade request for Larry Johnson, and it just, for me, they were asking way too much, but nonetheless, I just don't think this is something you want to do.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, so you got to watch it for 16 weeks.
Excellent. Jeff, thank you so much. Again, Jeff Pasquino joining us from Footballguys.com. I'm Anita Marks, your host from Baltimore's ESPN Radio 1300, and our guru, who we're so fortunate to have every week right here on Fantasy Blitz, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Network, Michael Fabiano. Michael, have a good week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Have a great weekend.
You got it. Good night, everybody.